Hello and welcome to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I am in the AC here in the office tonight. It's been a hot one this week, so I decided to do it from in here. But welcome everybody. Let me get my crew in here. Got my buddy Ryan back with me this week. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Not too bad.
All righty. Also, we got Sean is in the
Well,
house, and Mr. Meadows.
Hey, everybody.
Is that a Garage Work shirt?
Yes, sir, it is.
Man, way to
I-
represent, buddy.
I got to, buddy. I'm one of a dying breed.
I got the other one. I got the other one covered. All right. Well done. Well done indeed. All right. So we're if it's your first time here, we just kind of what we just been doing lately, just kind of hanging out. We take questions about CNC stuff, mostly hobby CNC. You know, I'm not. I'm feeling a little bit loopy today.
What?
But so if we get any hard questions, I'm going to defer to the panel. I'll try to take maybe one of the easy ones or something if we get any. But anyway, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. And my buddy Ryan's going to be tagging questions and stuff like that. Before we get started with any questions, I got a question I got to ask because I've seen it. I don't know how many times you've been on here, Russ, 2 or 3 here in the past few weeks or so, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you get your name with a different font?
There was a trick to that. I didn't have anything to do with it. I happened to be on a show with Jerry Blakesley, and he worked my font name with a different font, and it's stuck like that ever since.
Okay.
I didn't actually do it like that. I just have my name regularly, but he changed it, and it's never been changed back.
Okay. Well, I've noticed it every time. I just forget to ask you about it.
I don't know how he did it or what he did, but it was on one of his StreamYard shows, and that's what he did. And I don't even know if he knows how. He may know.
Okay. Well, I hadn't tried to. I don't guess. They could. StreamYard could have added something, and I don't know about it, but I didn't. I have noticed that every time you come on, I'm like, that's a little bit different font. And I'm like, how does he do that?
I wish I could give you an answer.
All right. Well, that's the only question I have for you. So,
I have one.
Okay.
It's not exactly a question, but it was Marcello put his post in, and he said he just finished cutting his inlay charcuterie board, and with the Genie bit. And he said it was way better than his old end mill, clean cuts and 2.5 times the feed rate and stuff. And he was thanking Cody for it. I just want to know which actual bit that he used on that.
Yeah, here's that comment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. He says way better than my old end mill. So I guess he was using a down cut Genie or something like that, maybe.
That's kind of what I wanted to find out.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he puts that in there. And speaking of Genie bits, the big news of the weekend. No, not the Washington stuff. The really big news is the 60-degree Genie bit was on pre-order, and then I think sold out all within a few hours. But anyway, I
Very quick.
got an order in for one, so looking forward to that. And I think what I might do, I think it'd only be appropriate that when I get it, whenever it comes in, I think here live on the show, I should do some kind of a demonstration with that new Genie bit. Because I use 60 degree a lot, but I don't I don't use a 90 so much, so I hadn't ordered a 90 degree, but I did get the 60 degree, so I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of that, Cody is the sponsor. Let me get my stuff over here. Oh, it always goes to the wrong stuff here. He's the sponsor, Cadence Manufacturing Design. So he sponsors the giveaway that we do every single week. And tonight, he said, since we're going to be, since the new V-bit came out, we're going to be giving away, we don't have one of the 60s yet, but we're going to be giving away another one of the 90 degree V-bits, the Groovy Genie. So
that's the one I just got.
That will be in the giveaway a little bit later tonight. And if you want to go ahead and start getting your stuff in, you'll be putting hashtag Genie. And I will get the StreamYard giveaway tool set up. I should have already had this done, but I didn't. But we will get that set up. And it can start collecting them, and then later on, oh yeah, it jumped right up as soon as I put it in there. So move that over here. Okay. So yeah, put hashtag Genie in the comments, the chat somewhere, and that'll get you entered for that 90 degree V-bit. And anything else going on, Ryan? You got anything? Any updates on the shop or anything to talk about before we?
Well, from when I was away, I didn't really have a whole. I didn't get to work on it all that last week, and then this week I got to do a little bit on it, not much. Hopefully tomorrow we get a good day of working on it. Had a bunch of rain this week, so every time I'd go do something out there, it would start raining.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wish we could.
We'll get it done.
Rain. It is so dry here. We haven't had any rain in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks now, I think, and it's pretty rough. Sean, you got anything going on you want to talk about? Any?
Well, I've been working on the laser a lot this weekend. Cutting out some stands, AR stands.
Okay, cool, nice. Cool. What about you, Paul?
So,
you got,
what kind of stand?
An AR stand. It's what that is sitting on. So I laser cut them and then bend them into shape on a heater.
Lean over one more time, Sean. There we go.
Here.
There you go.
So pretty much I'd cut out the form on the laser, and then using the heater I would bend it into shape. And then you can
cool.
display your AR.
Right. I like that.
Very cool.
All right. Okay. Now back, Paul. What do you got going on? Any CNC stuff, 3D printing stuff, any kind of projects?
The only thing I found out this week, and Russ Meadows can testify to this, is how fast that 50-degree downcut Jenny went out of stock.
I told him about it already.
Yeah, I saw your post on Facebook, and you probably missed it by that much. Huh?
Probably because I wasn't home, and I waited till I got home. I never should have done that. I should have just ordered it on my phone. But I waited till I got home, and it's just one of those things. I got to wait for the next round.
Yeah. That's the bad thing about them is they just go like hotcakes, because limited run like that. So.
Yeah, I told him that I was sitting here, and I got the notification on my phone, and I just happened to have my wallet sitting right there. And so when I saw that, hit it with the credit card, and I got in. And then you told me almost right after that,
yeah,
it was gone. I said, you got to go quick, man.
Yeah, it couldn't have been. I don't know. It wasn't that long. I know. I was.
Yeah.
There was a comment in the chat about from CNC about the thing, and he said if you ever had less than perfect results using ore mask, you should try the Groovy Genie. It cuts through ore mask like a scalpel.
Well, I have some ore mask out there in the shop, so when that bit arrives, I may do a little live test during the
That's
show.
exactly what I'm waiting on, because I have to carve a name into a lid of a toy box, and I was waiting on either the 60 or the 90 to become available, and so when it gets here, I've got to do that, and I hope it works like I said. It seems like it would.
Yeah. Sean, somebody had a iron scale had a question. Says, what's the material you're using for that stand?
I replied, but I'm using Kydex. I got my hands on some 1/4-inch Kydex sheets.
Okay. Is that okay? Cool.
I'm not sure exactly what that is.
That's the stuff they make holsters and stuff out of, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Exactly.
You can kind of. I seen somebody. I don't remember who it was now, but somebody did a YouTube video and they showed how he heats it up, and it's pretty. He wasn't using it for holsters, but he was using it to make covers for his. In fact, he was one of the guys that did like I did. He put a treadmill motor on a Harbor Freight lathe, and he was using Kydex to make the cover to cover the motor and stuff up.
Huh.
So
Good.
yeah, looks
It's
like
a fun
lot of
material to
people.
work with.
Looks like a lot of people got in on that 60-degree V-bit there. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Okay, we just talked about this one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was reading.
Also, Hamilton Dilbeck, who was on the show a few weeks back, he had a video come out. Let's see, was it yesterday or today? I can't remember. I get my days mixed up. Anyway, he was
It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? He was demonstrating, I guess, a 90-degree V-bit, Genie bit, using the Aura mask.
I missed that one then. Okay.
Yeah. And and he mentioned that he had a little trouble with some of the smaller stuff, but I think the smaller text, but I think it was because it was the 90-degree instead of
Right.
Well,
this
60
90.
degree.
Well, this 90 I think is 3/8 wide. It's not wide. It's not like a half inch or something. I think it's 3/8 if I remember right.
Yeah. Okay. I may have to get one of those too then. I probably will after I get the other one. I probably should have bought the bundle. That's what I should have done.
Uh-huh.
What was I thinking? Alrighty.
Hey, Sean, Brooks wants to get a little more information from you on that material.
It's a straight bar heater, so it's a flat surface with an indent, and then there's a heating bar that goes across. And what I do is I lay the Kydex right across that bar where I want to bend it, and probably within 2.5-3 minutes, it softens it up to where it's pliable enough to form it to where I want it, and then I cool it down in water, hold shape. Works pretty good. A little smelly, but not bad.
A little smelly, huh?
Notice that little hesitation.
Yeah. JR's at it again. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's hitting up with
hitting
the
it early.
super chats. I appreciate it, buddy. You need to save that money for that move you got to do. How are you doing on that? I wouldn't want to do that for anything, I swear. We got somebody here from Sweden. Welcome to the Hobby CNC with Dave show.
Well then.
We also have Australia out there too.
Australia's out there, yeah.
Yeah. And that off place of Canada.
Okay, and that person, LGRFBS, says, what is the difference between mill and router CNC machine? Anybody want to take that one, or are you waiting on me?
Well, I was figuring that a mill was more for metal.
You for that one.
Steel.
Yeah, when I think of a mill, I think of, well, if we're talking about a CNC mill, I think of like a Haas, or a Tormach, or something like that, where the spindle is fixed, and if it's manual, like an old Bridgeport mill or something like that, you're using the cranks, or if it's CNC like a Haas or a Tormach or something, it's the spindle is still fixed, and they're heavy. It's not something you're just going to go, hey, grab the other side of that, let's move it over here to this. You're not going to do that. And it's mostly for doing steel, different metals, aluminum, that kind of thing. That's what I think. Now, router, not all, but most routers have the 3 axis of movement, but they have the gantry that moves. They don't have to. They could be a fixed gantry, but they're more for the lighter materials, wood, plastic, some soft metals you can do. But I always tell folks, if the main thing you want to do is any kind of metal, whether it's brass, aluminum, whatever, you need to look for a mill, not a router. It's let's see here. Okay, so I hope that answered that question. Okay, let's see. So we've got that one taken care of. CNC says, Dave, what are your thoughts on the CNC Depot automatic tool change spindle for the Avid? I have decided to work towards buying an Avid, and like everyone else, I dream of an automatic tool changer. I don't really have any thoughts about it because I don't have one. If Avid wants to send me one, I would be happy to put it on and do a review on it, but they're not going to. So, and I don't really need one for the stuff I do.
I have go ahead,
Russ.
The automatic tool changer, that's a great want of mine as well. And when I was looking at the Chinese CNC machines and getting quotes for American and Chinese machines, the Chinese folks told me that if I wanted the automatic tool changer, I could not use Mach 3. And I don't know if that's a fact or not, but said it wasn't compatible with Mach 3. Mach 3 wouldn't take that. They had to go to 4 or a different brand of controller software and stuff. So that's one thing to think about, if that's the case. I didn't get that from anybody else, though, so I don't know.
Obviously, I have not used Mach 3 with an automatic tool changer because I don't have one. But I would beg to differ. I think you can use Mach 3 with one.
All right.
Because because I see some of that stuff in the settings and stuff, and I'm like, well, it's not going to apply to me because, I don't have one. But I'm sure you could probably do it even if you needed to add some code or a script or something like that. You could probably do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's some pretty. Hi, Teresa. Now I forgot what I was saying.
She has a tendency to do that to you.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say to CNC. That's a pretty ambitious plan to get that. But hey, if you're, I'm assuming you're thinking big. You're going to be doing some kind of business with it or something. Because I just don't know how advantageous an automatic tool changer would be for a hobbyist or somebody who's just doing, making a little money here and there, because those things aren't cheap. So, the return on investment would take a while if you're just doing little craft shows or something, I would think.
Yeah, it'd take a long time for the hobbyists to make that money back.
Yeah. For me, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to change tools.
Our friend from Sweden, I'm not even going to bother trying to spell out the name on that, but says that there's many YouTube videos with ATC and Mach 3. So,
okay, yeah, I got the first word pretty good.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I haven't ever used it, but I've always thought that you can use it with Mach 3.
All right, then that's good to know, because I'm more familiar with Mach 3 than anything else, and don't want to learn anything else.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some good questions tonight. KS.
Oh, and
welcome to the to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. I think maybe this is your first time here. I don't remember seeing that before. When doing multicolor epoxy inlays, I do them over several days. Typically, I just use my corner touch plate to reset XYZ each day, but is there a better way to save those coordinates in Mach 3? With a G54 or G55, that's what the offsets are for. Now when you say you do them over several days, are you leaving it on the table to do your pours, or are you pulling it off and then putting it back in the same place? If you are, I'm assuming you have a fixture of some kind so that when you put it back on there, you're getting it in exactly the same place. But yeah, you could save those coordinates. In fact, Mach 3 will save them as a G54 automatically if you have it set up that way. And it'll go right back. All you have to do is come out the next day, home the machine, and again, I'm assuming you have homing switches, but you'd home the machine and then just hit that whatever offset you have set up, G54, 55, 56, whatever it might be, and it'd go right back to it. That would be the easy way. Okay.
He says he's leaving it in place.
Okay. Yeah, then you definitely for sure could. That makes it even easier. I mean, but even if you're, because I know I've seen some people that talk about how they pull it off and go pour it somewhere else and bring it back. As long as you have it where you can get it in the same spot every time, a little L thing or something, you can do that. Or you could use your touch probe like you mentioned. It's just if you've got it where you're putting it in the same spot, that offset in Mach 3 will save it, and you won't have to do that every time. Just of course, you're still going to have to set your Z if you're changing bits. I think pretty much everybody knows that by now, I think. All right, let's see here. HE says, Dave, what do you think of the Chinese Workbee clones? They seem to have better build quality than most well-known desktop CNC machines. I can't really speak about them too much because I don't know that much. I was at one point, because when I first started doing this show again, I had Laney Shaughnessy, and he was doing the digital wood carver thing. Then we had JR on, and he was talking about the Infinity. Then we had Andy Lee on, and he talked about the long mill. And I was trying to get people to come on the show and talk about specific machines so that we could get them all covered. And when I started thinking about the work bee, I looked those up, and then I thought, well, that's going to be hard to get somebody, because those, from what I understand, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, those are in the UK. And anytime I try to get somebody from the UK to come on the show, we got that huge
time difference,
5 or 6 hour time difference. So like for 9 o'clock Eastern time, my time, when I go live, it's the wee hours of the morning for them. So, but I have looked at them. They look like decent machines. I don't know. Are you, HE, are you in the UK by chance? Let's see. Here we go. It says, what do you think of ER11 collet change systems then? Well, the ER11's the little bitty one. So, I don't know. I guess I'm sure there's probably somebody that makes an automatic tool changer for those. I don't know if it would be, again, you have to really be cranking out some stuff, to me, at least in my opinion. I know I would have to be just really cranking out some parts and product to be able to say, yeah, it's probably time to get an auto tool changer, because they're pricey, and there's a lot of, there's a lot to them. You got some pneumatics and all the, now you got to have all the different bits, as well as all the different collet holders and all that stuff, and the rack, and there's a lot of stuff involved with getting one of those set up. And of course, as you might guess, there's a lot of things, there's that many more things to go wrong to when you have one of those. So and I don't know, when you're asking me about ER11 collet changes, I don't know if you're asking because of the automatic tool changer, or just, I don't know what else to say about them. They're just really small.
Yeah, there's several of them listed on Facebook Marketplace all the time. Several sets of ER11 collets. But to go back to the multiple inlay question, Jerry Brown, Polywasser Crafter, said when doing multipass in multiple days, he just leaves it in place, and when you exit Mox 3, it'll ask you to save the settings. And if you say yes, then it automatically keeps those settings, and you just start back up again the next day. Same spot, it doesn't lose the XYZ.
Yeah, it'll save it in the G54.
Yeah.
And that's why if you click fixture save, if you click yes, then you start it up. That's what I mean. You can just home it and then hit go to 0, and it goes right back to where
it was saved. Off. He also said that he says that he's sorry the work bee looks like an X-carve. That was Jerry's statement.
He said what?
The work bee. We were talking about the work bee thing.
Okay.
Said it looks like an X-carve.
Okay, I can't remember. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll see if I can pull up a picture here.
Oh, HE is in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, okay.
So he might be the farthest away.
So we got like, well, we have Australia too. So,
yeah,
we have like 5 countries represented tonight, 5 or 6. That's pretty
awesome. Well. International crowd.
There you go, doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's since we're talking about the work bee, kind of, sorta.
Oh, Todd Cox also answered that question about that.
Yeah. Dave, before we jump any further, we're we've left Larry Brown behind. He had a
Awesome.
he did a super chat,
Thank you, Larry.
and now he's like my favorite person. He gave me a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that, and
Hello,
thank
Larry.
you for the he said he learn something new every week. I do too. A lot of times I learn something new every week. All right, let's take a. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm looking at here. Let's see. CNC machine kits. Let's just look here. Okay, now here's one, and Jerry was talking about it, said it looked like an X car, but see, here's one that uses lead screw. Or maybe he was just meaning, yeah, I guess. Man, they don't get the pictures big enough for me. Dinky pictures. But this one, okay, now, I think this one is using lead screws. I think it runs inside that channel somehow, maybe. I'm not sure. But then it looks like it has some kind of roller B wheels or something right there.
Mm-hmm.
But these are kits apparently. So that would make them, and this says $913 to $1,315. So yeah, I can't either say yay or nay for them because I really don't know anything about them, and I haven't been able to get somebody who has one to come on the show. But if anybody knows of somebody, let me know, and I'll see if we can get them to come on the show and talk about them and show it off or something.
B. Todd Cox answered his question, AG's question about the clones from China on the Work B, and he said it's a great value, but keep in mind it is not as solid as a Gatton when it comes to flex, particularly on the x-axis. So there'll be a lot of flex on the x-axis.
Mm. Okay, so I guess he was talking about a clone.
Originally, the question was the Work B clones from China.
Okay.
Todd Cox has evidently had one.
Oh yeah, he said having used one. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see, where did we leave off on the questions here? Jim B says, I have an X-Carve and I'm looking into a ball screw type CNC. Which CNC should I consider? Well, the one that comes to mind right away when you're talking about ball screws is the Onefinity. And let's also make sure, because I'm not sure who Jim B is, but let's make sure that everybody understands that there are lead screws and there are ball screws. And sometimes people use those terms kind of interchangeably, and they're not the same thing. Let's see, I do this. This is a lead screw. It's an Acme lead screw that just happens to have an anti-backlash nut on it. And then the ball screws, they don't really have threads. They've got more like grooves, and then the so-called nut has little ball bearings in it, and they ride in those grooves. So there is a difference. So if you know that there's a difference and you're definitely looking for a ball screw type CNC, I would say check out the Onefinity. Don't know what your budget is or anything like that, but they are a good machine.
My guess is that he wants to get away from the belt drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
idea.
Yeah, he said he had an X carve, so yeah.
That was my first thought when I read that.
Yep. Okay, let me get squared away on these comments here. I keep forgetting after we get done showing one and answering, I keep forgetting to uncheck them so that they leave the list.
Go
and
away.
then they're still in the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still in the live thing, but they. I wish I had a CNC, but I'm married.
See, now I tagged that one because there's a solution, and Dave has the solution now.
Well,
Chris,
I don't know. There
you need
still
to
could be
spend
some
$150.
resistance. There still could be some
Well, there could be.
resistance. But yeah, my latest little CNC with the emphasis on little is the little 3018. And mine's even, I think it's like a knockoff or something. It's not even a thing, but I paid $154 for it. Did a unboxing and assembly live stream last Friday night, not yesterday, but a week ago. So check that out if you want to see it. And I just ran my first little let's see, where am I at here? There we go. Ran my first little test where I ran a 3D thing. This is just one of the free things that's in Vectric.
Looks good too.
And it did fantastic, which is really the reason why I bought that thing, is to show people that, hey, yeah, it's not very fast, it's not very big, but if all you got is a desk and you want to get into CNC, you could get something like that, and still get started, especially if you don't know anything. If you don't have a CNC and you're wanting to learn, I think they're great little starter CNCs to learn how things work. And then, of course, if you got room and the money and a really nice wife, and she says you can get a bigger one, then yeah, you're in good shape now. And I really think a lot of times,
plenty of fish in the sea.
I agree with Mark.
Okay, Jerry says, I tell people want to see my wife and kids and show them pictures of my shop. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Mark says, just be careful, Chris. When she sees what you can do with one, she'll come up with 1,000 projects she needs yesterday. See, so that's the thing. Even if you can only talk her into letting you get one of these little bitty ones, and you start doing things, then when she goes, well, can you make me this? That's when you go, well, I could, but I need a bigger CNC.
A bigger one.
And then, and then she'll cut the purchase order for something else.
Yeah.
So, all righty, let's see. HE says, does it make a big difference going from a lead screw to ball screws working with wood? And what about linear rails compared to wheels in tracks? Well, all of those things work. Even the belts, work. It's just it's all about how stiff the chassis is, the frame, and how fast you want to go. I mean, my Gatton CNC and my other little Sidewinder CNC and this little new 3018 that I have all have Acme lead screws of some kind, and they work great. As far as accuracy, I'd put any of them up against anything else. But if you want speed, then you need to start thinking about something else. Now, my Avid has the linear rails, linear guide blocks, and then it has the rack and pinion on the X and the Y axis. So that thing will fly. And of course, it has a ball screw in the Z axis. So all of the things work. When somebody says, "What's the big difference between lead screws and ball screws?" I'm like, well, ball screws usually you can go a little faster with those than you can the lead screws. And I know people will argue with me, but I don't think there's any difference as far as accuracy. If you have the right kind of backlash nuts and stuff like that, I don't think there's any big difference between accuracy. And a lot of people say, "Oh no, the ball screws are more accurate." Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but you can't prove it by me and all of the thousands of people that have Gatton CNCs that run lead screws, because I see the stuff they produce with them, and they do quite well. Let's see here. Earl Walker says, "My wife asked me today, how big of a sign can I do? She wants a large sign made up, 'I love her.'" Okay. Okay. If you want a bigger CNC, don't tell her about tiling.
That was my next statement.
Keep that secret. No. Yeah. I mean, the answer to the question would be whatever the width of your CNC is. That's what you're restricted by. As far as length, it could be whatever, because you can always tile. But all right. That's all of those questions, I think. Man, we got some good questions tonight. What time is it? 48. Okay, we're doing good. Doing good. Here's another comment about a Queen Ant Pro. I've never heard of that. Looks very similar. Have only purchased from Boltman 3D several times. I've had good experience with them. Workbee Facebook groups are very helpful. Okay. I'll have to try to get somebody that has a Workbee to maybe come on the show. But I haven't, like I said, I've looked around, because what I would do is I would go to YouTube and I would search Workbee or, whatever kind of CNC. And then I can find somebody that's got a YouTube channel that uses that kind of a CNC. And it seems like every time I find a Workbee, because they're made in the UK, that's where that person is. And I know it's going to be a problem to, because of the time difference. So. Yeah, Earl says, just made 4 36 by 80 signs. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's 3:44. Almost 4 a.m. in Sweden. So. Yeah. Now, not everybody's, some people are night owls, so maybe if I could find just the right person, I could get them on here maybe. But anyway,
Very
it's good to see. It's good to see a lot of people from all over on here because we usually have our, usual suspects that are all around the U.S. But it's good to have some folks from all over tuning in. Appreciate you. And should we? We're 51 minutes in, and since I don't have any questions right now, should we do the Genie thing, guys?
Yeah.
What say you?
Sure.
You can.
All right.
Yeah,
for
let's
those
do it.
who may have just tuned in, let me give them a chance to know. For those of you who may have just tuned in after the first few minutes when I talked about this, we do a live giveaway every night on this show, sponsored by Mr. Cody Elkins from Cadence Manufacturing and Design. He sponsors a free giveaway every week for a Genie bit of some kind. And so if you went in on the drawing that we'll be doing here in just a couple of minutes, put in hashtag Genie, and we will be drawing for a 90-degree groovy Genie. And that's
pretty.
It is. Oh man, look at that. That's
They're almost too pretty to use.
all right. Now the key word there is almost, right?
Yeah, it's almost. Well, it's kind of like my old man used to say. You buy the fancy tool and you put it up on the shelf, and then you buy the $20 tool and use the crap out of it. And so you still have that good one sitting on the shelf one day. Might break it out, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
So
All
buy
right,
a few of them.
We had a sudden spike in the number of entries just then. So I'll give you. We're at like 53. I'll give it till about 55 minutes in, and then we'll do the
Not yet, Mark.
thing here. I'll put this over here so everybody can see it. Got 60 entries
It's pretty good.
in right now. So
Wow, that's a lot.
that is
I don't
a
know how
lot.
I'm going to win with 60 of y'all going for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ, is it true that you keep it on a chain around your neck?
Yeah, that's what Mark said, my God. If I had it, if I just ordered it, so I can't say that I put it around my neck yet, but you never know.
Yeah.
They are pretty.
Mark's disappointed in me.
All right, so we'll go another few
62.
seconds here. Hashtag Genie is what you want to put in the chat, and it will collect your entry, and then we'll do this live drawing. And somebody will be really happy after that, I'm sure.
72 watching and 34 thumbs up. Got to do a little better than that, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Give it to me. Well, I'm pulling for Chris right now if I don't win it. I just bought this one, by God. I wish.
Oh, he says if he wins, he'll give it to Russ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else want to offer the same? Come on now.
Okay. And if you still have any questions, be sure. And,
Raymond was asking.
Go ahead.
Raymond was asking if Cody ships overseas.
I think he
I
does.
don't know.
He does. I think he ships everywhere.
I think he does because when we do these giveaways, now Cody was out there, I think.
Yeah, he's gone now.
Is he gone?
He had to. Yeah, he had to go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think he's never told me, hey, make sure it's USA only. So I'm assuming he ships them.
I think he has said that he does ship everywhere.
So, but yeah, Mark's
JJ Woods. Russ can pet it.
Oh, that's all right, buddy. You're close enough that I can run over there and pet it, but I ain't going to do it.
That's funny. That's funny.
I did buy one of this particular one already the other day.
Bob Woods in the house. Appreciate you tuning in, Bob. Good to see you.
Marcello said he shipped to
Evening,
him in
Bob.
Canada.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll ship
He will. Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah. All right. Well, I'd really let it go a little longer. We got 64 entries in, so we're gonna go ahead and hit it, and we'll stick around and answer a few questions after that. If anybody's still got any questions, put those in the chat. But for right now, it's time to hit the button. So good luck, everybody. Here
Good
we
luck.
go.
If Mark wins, he's going to send a picture of it to me.
Wearing it around.
Oh,
Larry, go.
Oh,
boy, it was close, Russ.
I know it. It really aggravates me when I see my name pop up before it says winner.
yeah. This I've noticed, because we've done several of these drawings now, and I noticed this StreamYard tool. It's a real tease.
It is.
It slows way down, and you see a name, and you think, oh yeah, and then it switches right at the last second.
Right at the last second.
Congratulations, Larry Galt. Good to.
Yeah.
Was Larry, was
Larry.
you one of them that said you was going to give it to me anyway?
Well, he is a fellow Texan, but I
don't think he's. He might not be that good of a friend.
Yeah, congratulations, Larry. That's
Congrats,
awesome.
Larry.
All righty, let
And
me.
if you didn't win one, you can always go purchase one.
Oh, that was the question we just answered. I think. Yeah, I think Cody ships everywhere. All right, so we'll hang around a minute, see if any other questions pop in. If not, we will go ahead.
We might
and
be getting out of here
up.
early, huh?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I never, I know I'm kind of known for running long, getting long-winded, and now I done got that comment hung up in there somewhere. There it is. But I never like to leave until all the questions are answered. So if people keep asking them, that's why we hang around.
Chris Newman saying good night, everybody.
Roy Baker
I
says,
just put one in there
Russ,
from Roy.
if you are still looking for a Mach 3 script for your Edge Finder, check out how you say that?
Triquinta?
Triquinta. It is Charles Thomas program. Been using it for 6 weeks and it works. Okay.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything with it since, but
There's a lot of scripts out there if you just know where to look.
yeah. If that works with that triple edge finder, that'd be a wonderful thing.
Now that's a Bill Griggs thing, right? Doesn't he have a script that works?
He originally hawked the big tech screen set that had that script in it, but now I think Mark Lindsay told me he's pushing another one of those Mach 3 screen sets, and so I don't know. I went to get the big text and he had stopped. He didn't have it up there anymore.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping I could get one just for the script and see. I've got one or two that I've downloaded. One you gave me, and then another one haven't installed them yet to take a chance and try it.
Yeah. Jerry says, Larry says he just ordered the 60 and 90. Well, now you'll have two 90s.
Yeah, 290s.
See, if
It'll wear out eventually.
I was going to give it away to somebody if I'd have wanted. That's just the kind of guy I am, since I already bought it.
Let's see. I saw something.
Alan Heffernan has a question.
Okay. Alan says, I believe I ran across some advice the other day that said, do not use a climb cut with a down cut end mill. Is that true?
I can't answer that one.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if it would make a difference. I don't know. We'll have to have somebody do that.
I can't answer that one.
So we don't know Alan.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would just. Now I'm sure it would probably cut better one way over the other.
Mark Lindsay said I climb cut with down cut end mills all the time.
Okay, well there you go. There you go. No problemo, he says. Okay. He says it seems to make chip removal more difficult. Well, when I use a down cut, it's hard to get, because it's packing them in there.
Yeah.
No matter which way it's going.
Mark says you don't climb cut with a compression bit and use conventional cutting.
Mm-hmm. I usually use conventional anyway on most everything.
Same here.
Yeah, Todd says it's still spinning in the same direction, yeah. Wade says he gets fuzzies with a climb cut. Yeah. All right. Is there any, let's see. Got another one starred in here. He says, if you were to build a brand new hobby CNC machine, what control system
I can probably answer
would
that.
it get? Well,
Depends on
Russ,
what you like.
I'd figure you'd
Dave
probably
is
go
going to
with
do
Mach
Mach
3.
3.
Mach 3. If it's
I'm gonna
it's
go with
not
Gerbil.
broke, don't fix it. Ah.
well,
Agree.
I'm a long time Mach 3 person, and the only reason I stick with Mach 3 is because I already have the license.
Yep.
So why buy a license
And if
for a
it's
new
not broke,
product? And plus it works.
It
But having said all that,
Uh-oh, here we go.
I am starting to get familiar with these gerbil, however you want to say it. I
Don't
call
break
it
the
gerbil.
norm.
And I really like. I have tried using three different senders, G-code sender things. One of them, of course, is the Universal G-code Center, or UGS. That's the one that's probably most popular out there. It works okay. Don't really have any big complaints about it. And then there's Bob from Bob CNC has the basic sender, which is one he's taken the open builds stuff and kind of customized it to work with the Bob CNC stuff. I've used that one. It works well. But my favorite, and it's strictly because of the way the interface is, the way it looks. And I just think it's the easiest. I don't know. I just like the looks of it. And that is the G Sender that's by CNC Labs, which are the makers of Long Mill. So theirs is a free download. You don't have to have one of their machines to use it. And so that's what I've been using with that little 3018. And I'm really digging it. It's pretty nice. So, but as far as getting back to his question, I say his, I don't know who, that could be somebody else, could be a female, I guess, but
I don't think so.
it really just depends on what you like. There's you got all kinds of stuff. You got the Masso, you've got UCCNC, you've got all the different Gerbil based stuff. it's really just depends on what you want.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Jet in a long time, huh?
No, and I saw Peter Pasquello came out with a new video just within the last day or two, I think. And I think it was something I can't remember. It was something to do with the Masso. I think Peter's pretty much working for those guys now. I think because he's got a channel called CNC Nuts Masso Edition or something like that.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, so because he does a lot of video stuff for the Masso folks.
Tomato.
So, and that's a good system. It's different. It's very different, but that would be a good one. But yeah, in answer to your question, it's whatever you want. Tomato, as Mark would say.
Jerry Brown said he likes the look of potato. Jerry said he likes the look of the newest Masso.
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest one. I have one of the
nearly originals, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's the original because I think it's like a Generation 3 or 2 or something that I have. I'd look for it. It's over there somewhere on that shelf. I don't know exactly where, but a Fanuc controller. You don't need anything that big unless you're in
machine shop.
In a shop environment, I would say.
Running 440 volts? No, 480.
See, every time I say this, somebody's going to tell me I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to call it Gerbil. Sorry. I don't want people to think I'm talking about the rodent. I'm calling it Gerbil. So you can just keep correcting me. I don't care. Michael says, I love my AXBB. That's the board that's in the new G3 CNC controller that Stacy went with.
Yeah.
And I can never remember. I know it starts with an A, and that's about it. I can never remember how you say it. But that's that same board, and it allows you to use both UC CNC or Mach 3. He says I have the license for both, but like the UC CNC better. Yeah, UC CNC is okay. It's I have a license for that as well, and have used it in the past, but I keep always going back to the Mach 3 just because that's the one I've been using the longest. All right, I don't see any more questions popping in here, so I guess he says I can't say gerbil either, but I love correcting you. Okay. All right. Well, I guess. Okay. Our friend from Sweden says thanks. That the reason is that PCs with LPT ports are starting to become rare. Yeah. Now, don't think that you have to have an LPT port to use Mach 3 because you don't. You can use Mach 3 with a USB if you buy a little, I'll call it cheap. They're about $100. Might not be cheap to everybody, but for what they do, they're a steal. But for about $100 to $110, $15, you can buy the cheapest of the UC CNC motion controllers, which is a UC 100. And then that way you can run that to your thing. You don't have to have a computer with an LTP port. You just use a USB port, and they work great.
HE had a question.
Okay, is this it?
Yep.
Router versus 1.5 spindle versus 2.2 spindle.
2.2.
Well, it depends on what kind.
What
Depends
you're
on
doing.
what kind of router, because
Yeah.
you know, if you have a, like, say, what is it, DeWalt 611? I think they're like a 1.25 horsepower.
They're
The
pretty small.
The 1.5. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I know a 2.2 kilowatt spindle is about 3 horsepower.
Yeah, it's
a
real
little
close.
a little less, I think. So, you know, let's see if I can get these numbers right. A Porter Cable 690, and I'm just throwing different models out there, is 1.75 horsepower. I think the 890, I believe, is 2.25 horsepower. So, you know, it really just depends on what you want to do. And again, when you're talking spindles, do you want to go air cooled or water cooled? If you need really low RPMs, you might want to go with a water cooled. But
What are you wanting to make with them? It determines whether you have a router or a spindle in the first place.
yeah. Yeah.
Long carves, you want the spindle because they burn brushes out of routers really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Routers, you know, even though guys like us, we stick them on machines, they're really made to use with your hand.
They
You know,
are.
turn them on, do something, and turn them back off. That's really what they're made for. So, but yeah, that's a good question. You know, it's really, what's your budget? What do you want to use? The nice thing about routers, even though they do have to have the brushes replaced, is if you're in the middle of a car and you're anything like me, like if I'm running something on a Porter Cable 690 and the brushes quit, I just pull it out and throw another one in because they're cheap. I have 5 or 6 of those routers. Of course, I don't think you can get them now, the Porter Cable ones, but I've got several of those. Peter says, do controllers need to be cleaned ever so often? I'm laughing because if somebody's asking me about cleaning, that's a joke. That is a joke.
It only gets cleaned in his shop when somebody comes to visit and he makes them sweet.
When it stops working, that's when
The wind blows.
blow the dust out.
Overheat.
Yeah. Let's see.
Mr. Schuster
Wade
just showed
says
up.
the AXBB are Ethernet, and those are good ones. All right. Am I missing any questions? We can see. I say let's get out of here, and then everybody starts asking the questions.
Yep. I think we're all caught up.
Okay. Yeah, Todd says with Gerbil, it's possible to control the speed of the spindle in the software. Yeah. And you can do that with pretty much anything if you set it up right. That's just a vicious rumor, Al.
I don't know. We've seen pictures. Sweep that broom, bud. That's why I don't go visit him.
They were all staged to make it look bad. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We've had a good crowd here tonight, and especially quite the international audience tonight. So if this was your first time here, be sure and come back. We do this every Saturday. And like I said, I think when I get that 60-degree Genie bed, I think I may, I don't know how long it'll take to get it, but I think I'll do some kind of a live thing out there from the shop, and we'll just check that thing out, see what it'll do. So,
Sweet.
Anyway, we will get out of here. Again, congratulations to Larry Galt on being the winner of our live giveaway tonight.
Yeah, congrats, Larry.
Larry's a good dude, so good to
Yes.
see him. Good to see him win one. All right, gentlemen, Ryan, Sean, Paul, and Russ with the funny font.
Hook 'em.
We will see y'all. See y'all next
Next week.
I got to get my buttons ready here. Okay, I got it focused in here. All right. See y'all next Saturday, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody have a good one.
Good night, everybody.